Hey, what's up, adventure travelers? Wild Bill here. Grab yourself a beer because we're going to the bayou. So before we get to today's adventure, I need to tell you about the music that you're going to hear on today's video. So all the music that you hear from today's video is music that I recorded live of a band called the Cajun Drifters. Scrappy has two family members in this band. We call them cousins. They may be second cousins, third cousins. Who really knows? I mean, it's a Cajun family, right? But two of her cousins are in this band, the Cajun Drifters, and they play Zydeco music. So if you're not familiar with Zydeco music is really kind of a truly authentic Southern Louisiana style of music. Right? They play accordions, there's a fiddle, a bass, and drums, and they sing in French. So it's really kind of a unique style of music, something that I really hadn't heard of until Scrappy and I got together. So if you like the music that you hear in the background of some of these videos, again, the band name is the Cajun Drifters. I will put a link to their website in my video description. Go check them out, give them some love, order a CD. So the company that we ended up using for our airboat swamp tours, it's called the New Orleans Airboat Tours, based out of Marrero, Louisiana. Real cool setup, real easy to find, really kind of the authentic thing. When Scrappy and I were looking for what company we wanted to go on a tour with, we Googled it and looked at it, and there were a couple companies that were doing their quote-unquote airboat swamp tours on Lake Pontchartrain. And I thought that was kind of weird, right? I didn't really want to go on a swamp tour on the lake. You know, I've been around the lake, seen the lake. They may have some swampy stuff. There may be gators. I'm sure there probably is. But I really wanted to be kind of down in the bayou and down in the swamps, right? So that's why we ended up picking New Orleans Airboat Tours. And I'm glad that we did. Absolutely phenomenal experience. It was a great ride. We saw lots of wildlife. Very cool deal. Oh, before I forget, I should also mention New Orleans Airboat Tours. I have their link down in the video description as well. If you're ever in the area and you want a real deal swamp tour on an airboat, this is the place to go. Let's head south out of the French Quarter down to Marrero, down by the Jean Lafitte National Historical Park and Preserve, to our New Orleans Airboat Tours. Real cool thing, they've got about 5 or 6 boats, some large, some small. So if you're with a small group of people, you can actually get the whole boat to yourself, or you can join another tour. Pulling up on our first gator here, this guy was named Broke Jaw, or BJ for short, and you'll see why here in just a little bit. He's actually in a fight with another alligator who bit half of his jaw off. It's actually kind of hanging underneath him. Big dude. We actually thought he was a statue. At first, we didn't think he was real. So to prove us wrong, the captain gets off the boat and does this.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he was real. He's a big sucker too. Wouldn't be able to survive without the help of these guys here that run these tours. They actually feed this guy chicken every day, make sure that he's staying healthy and he's being fed. With the injuries that he has, he probably wouldn't be able to survive on his own. So, props to the captains of the New Orleans Airboat Tours for taking care of this guy. I think myself, he'd make a great pair of boots, but that's just me. So now's a great time to remind you guys that if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me what you think. But let's get on back down the river here and head off to our next spot. So this next alligator that we found, it's actually a mother with her babies. So you see, we zoom in here, you can see her baby right down there to the right of her and in front of her. The guide was just telling us about how aggressive they get around our babies. Well, here you don't see it, but she takes off into the water. She goes into the muddy water, and one of the babies goes into the muddy water as well. So he jumps off the boat. He's on the bank. He looks at me. He tells me, hey, grab that alligator right there. So, yeah. No, that's not exactly what happened. Here's what really happened. So this little baby gator here was actually one that they rescued from a nest that I think the mother had abandoned. So they rescued this little baby alligator. They kept it in a cooler on the boat with them. I'm sure took real good care of it. A real sweet little alligator, but it's kind of neat to be able to hold a gator. Just one of the things you can look forward to if you go on this tour.
Well, thank y'all so much. We're the Cajun Drifters, and you're listening to traditional style Cajun French music.